In today's In-Depth, we're going to focus on the Tampa Economic Development Corporation. Historically, the EDC has been an older group, but a new branch of the organization called StandUp Tampa is working to recruit more millennial executives. We sat down with two members of the EDC to tell us why they're focusing on the younger generation and why it's so important for economic growth. Joining me right now from the Tampa Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation, Colleen Chappell, who, by the way, was a volunteer, the head of that organization for a whole year, and your term is now up, is that right?
Yes, as of Tuesday, I'll hand over the gavel.
All right, and Roberto Torres, who joins us right now from an organization called StandUp Tampa. Roberto, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, I've got to ask this because I'm not so sure people understand what economic development corporations really are. What do they do?
Well, what they do is they focus on economic prosperity through jobs, through capital investment, and through recruiting companies and talent into the market. So it's all about driving the economic engine. And you'll see various economic development corporations around the community because we all have different product and different assets to afford ourselves and to provide for those that are interested in growing or relocating.
Are you in competition with the other ones? Because I know Pinellas has an economic development commission or corporation or whichever.
At the end of the day, we're all here to do the same thing. Move the market to a new level. In Tampa Bay, although we have different sectors and different assets in different markets, we really collaborate a great deal, because at the end of the day, we want to collectively move the market to a new level. So there's a lot of collaboration.
Okay, Roberto, what's the name of your organization?
It's called StandUp Tampa. I am the president of Black and Denim and Blind Tiger, successful millennial company started in Tampa Bay. So when I was approached for this particular project, I thought this was the way to attract and retain the millennial talent that we need. Human capital is the most important thing, or the most important assets for companies to actually come forward.
Let's define what is a millennial, so we get age groups here.
Yeah, millennial is now everybody comprised under 40.
Everybody under 40.
So between 20 and 40, those are your typical millennials.
So I'm not a millennial.
Not a millennial.
Haven't been for quite a few years.
Yeah.
So the question to both of you, why millennials? What's different about a millennial versus an old tiger like me?
They're the future. The future of our market. And Tampa today in Hillsborough County over-indexes for millennials, which means we have a higher population for millennials in other markets across the country.
Now, why is that?
I think it's because we're on the move. We've got a great market. We've got a great story to tell. We've got a lot to offer.
Tampa Bay is one of those places that are left where you can come create, collaborate, and thrive. That's how you attract millennial talent. You want to be part of something phenomenal and extraordinary. So in order for us, or for millennials, to raise our voice, it has to be in line with Tampa Bay narrative.
Now, what again, but as far as wants and needs and desires, I've heard some of them that millennials are more likely to buy an apartment than they are to buy a house, and some of them are foregoing that.
Yeah, they're more focused on experiences, and I think that's what Tampa has to offer. They want to be able to live, work, and play in the same place where they actually live. So, you know, the majority of them, they want to be able to live a life of purpose. Okay. So Tampa provides that, you know. So
in terms of the corporations that you can kind of draw down on, I mean, we're not talking about manufacturing here, are we?
No.
In some parts of the market, absolutely. Plant City has a growth area in manufacturing. Again, it's different parts of the market offer different assets to those that want to relocate or grow their businesses here.
Now, in order to do this, and the reason that Boston and some of these other places, and even Austin, have a foot up on us, is because they got some people with some big bucks there. We obviously have Jeff Vinnick, and he doesn't call it Vinnickville, but until there's officially another name for it, that's kind of what people say. Millennials, you can have all the great ideas in the world, but if you don't have entrepreneurial backup, if you don't have somebody providing some kind of finances, how do you get things going?
I think what Jeff Vinnick has done is really amplified what we already have here today. If you look at even our skyline, the growth, the amount of young entrepreneurs in the market, it is incredibly inspiring to see the growth of this market. I think what Jeff has done is put us on the national arena to talk about that more. And that's something we heard from millennials. We did a very large-scale research project to really get our heads around understanding millennials all across the market, and specifically some of our competitive markets, Atlanta, Charlotte, Dallas, and Raleigh. And what we found is that people are very high on Tampa. They still don't understand everything we have to offer, but they're very excited about learning more. So we need to take that opportunity and have more conversations and amplify our message.
Do millennials tend to have higher salary expectations than the rest of the population?
Well, yes and no. They are driven by what it is that gives them purpose in their life. But at the same time, we got to understand that they got to make a living. So the majority of the jobs that they are searching for, they want to be able to walk or bike to their jobs. They want to be able to probably rent instead of owning a specific house. Like you said, you know, there's a division between suburbs and the urban core. They're more prone to want to live in the urban core.
And so this emphasis on the urban core, you know, this is an interesting thing if you step back from it, which guys my age are pretty good about doing. Look at the whole big picture. There was urban flight when everybody wanted to get out of the cities, and I'm not saying that people don't still want to. Just watch the traffic on Dale Mabry or I-75 or I-4 any given day. But now, as you said, the emphasis of going back into the city, are these still family types? I mean, do they want to have kids and that kind of stuff too, or not?
Absolutely. They not only want to have children, but they want to have a lifestyle first. And that is what's so interesting. 2 decades ago, 18, 34-year-olds, as they're out going into their careers, into their college careers and looking for jobs, they'd look for the job first and find the lifestyle second. What all the research shows is millennials are looking for a lifestyle first, and then they'll find a job there. So the EDC's focus on this is all about talent, because at the end of the day, companies grow and thrive and relocate where they have a talent pool. And this is the future talent pool of our market, so it's incredibly important for us. The StandUp Tampa group was established to bring millennials to the table. You know, so many boards out there talk about millennials. We needed to bring them in and talk with them and hear from them, and that's why this was formed.
That's what StandUp Tampa is. It's a collective of executive young millennials that are passionate, highlighting Tampa Hillsborough as the place to start your business or further your career.
Does Pinellas, are they all right with it? Pinellas, when you hear you want to draw millennials to there, what about Pinellas? What about Pasco? What about Hernando? What about Citrus? What about Manatee County? How do they feel?
I don't know how they personally feel, but I can tell you every market in America cares about talent. At the end of the day, that's the table stakes for winning, and we want to harness a great deal of energy around talent because that's where the future is.
So you've got to try to keep the kids from UT here, try to keep the kids from USF, Eckerd, all these other colleges in the area.
Stop the bleeding on having all those college graduates leave the region because there's not opportunity for them.
Right.
Yes.
So what happens to you now?
I go to my full-time paid day job. It has been truly remarkable, though, to have the honor of being in a chair position of an organization that is on the threshold of incredible success. This market is really starting to skyrocket. There is national attention on what we're doing. The amount of investors we have, it's a private-public partnership. We have over 120 investors in our organization. So this is really the collective market standing up and saying, we care about our future, we care about our economic prosperity.
Well, we'll make sure we get to whoever your successor is, and you're going to be around for a while, right?
The president now for the next year for StandUp Tampa, so
okay,
I get
great.
to work with her successor.
Well, let's get you back about 6 months and see how your efforts are working, shall we?
Perfect.
All right, good talking to
Very
you. Thank
cool.
you so much.
You as
Thank
well.
you.
Thank you.
Now, if you'd like to get involved with StandUp Tampa, you can visit their website at tampaedc.com.